Well, good day, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of WTF Walk the Floors. I'm Stephanie Ledger with First Rate Hospitality, and we're continuing on our celebration this week with Housekeeping Week. And I'm joined by my co-host, Michele Kline with Kline Hospitality. How are you today, Michele?
I'm wonderful, Stephanie. This has been such an exciting week so far. We've had a lot of interviews with different colleagues in different properties, and we are at a property that is very special to me, very dear to my heart. I held the keys to this property for a short period of time, and I was able to make some incredible relationships and build some very, very cool connections during my time as a general manager here. So I reached out and they opened the doors, and we are here with Erika Sandoval. Erika, you are amazing, and I'm so excited to be in your presence. Tell our audience a little bit about your career, because you truly have an impeccable career where you moved the ranks, and that was just amazing. So tell us a little bit about who you are, what you do, how you got here, and then we'll take a deep dive into Housekeeping Week and why that is important to you.
Perfect. Thank you, ladies. Thank you for having me today. Like Michele mentioned, my name is Erika. I'm currently the assistant general manager for both of our properties here. I actually started in our call center as you can say, a floor supervisor. I was there for about 3 years, and that's when I decided to make the leap into one of our resorts as temporary help for 30 days. And 3 years later, I'm still here helping out.
So you came over to Tahiti Resort. So let's talk about your resorts. You have Tahiti Resort in Las Vegas. You also have Club de Soleil 1, and
Yes.
you also have Club de Soleil 2, all under your belt.
Yes.
That is amazing. So what once started off as just 30 days ended up being 3 years. So you never know.
3 years and counting.
That is incredible.
And how do you split your time between the properties when you are having to be at multiple properties? We know that multiple fires could be going on and trying to help in the different departments. So tell us a little bit about that, how you're able to making sure that all is feeling the love.
So it is really difficult because you try to think, okay, am I spending enough time here? Too much time there? Normally, what I like to do is I start at one location and then work my way down to the last one, spend a couple hours at one, then move to the second, and then at the third. Obviously, where there's more issues happening, that's where we tend to spend more time. Any meetings happening at the other location. So, it's just really based on what we have going on for the day.
Wonderful.
So great. So we know that we are in the middle of Housekeeping Week, and for some brands like yours, we're also in the middle of budget season.
Yes.
So we don't want to keep you for too long because we know that you are tied up. But tell us why Housekeeping Week is important to you, and then maybe share some tips of what you've done in the past to celebrate team members and what it is that you're doing this week or next week, whenever it is that you're celebrating.
Yeah, well, housekeeping for me, it actually comes personally. My mom was a housekeeper for many, many years. And as a child, I used to hear all of her beautiful, some horror stories about housekeeping. It isn't until now as an adult that it kind of hit me. And it's like, wow, these really are the hardest working, individuals of the industry, dealing with having to clean rooms, sometimes not the best rooms to clean. The guests, they're going above and beyond. And, let's be honest, some of the guests aren't the most pleasant to be around, but they're still trying their best to help them. And not only that, but a lot of them have a language barrier. And no matter how it is, but they try their best to communicate with the guests, with their managers, with the front desk, So again, it isn't until now as an adult that I really realized, wow, like how important housekeeping is for any property, in any location, around the world. So as far as Housekeeping Week goes, we do have a big kickoff that we're going to be doing, and I'll save that for Eva to explain a little more. But for this week, we're doing some breakfast items for them, doing little gift bags to end the week as, thank you for everything, which we do try to thank them, on a regular basis, not just this week in particular. But like I said, I don't want to give up all of the details. I'll let that.
And if there is something that I can say, Stephanie, and audience, from this particular leadership team at Tahiti Resort and both Club 1 and Club 2, is that it's a very tight team. It's a team that a lot of them have been around for a very long time, and it really feels like a family, even though we're talking about over 500 keys. And the fact that you have... it's a timeshare resort. It's 3 timeshare resorts. So the units are a lot bigger than just a regular key. So it's a large operation where it still feels like a family. And I think that is something that you don't find everywhere. So congratulations on that, on continuing that legacy and keeping up with being so amazing.
Thank you. Thank you.
Wonderful. Well, and I think also too, just like the longevity, how we were talking with the team and feeling a family, and then also too having the team that's been here for quite some time as well, seeing the engagements and wanting to see the repeat guests coming back to their units is really great, and a great week for us to continue celebrating Housekeeping Week.
Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Erika, and thank you, Tahiti Resort and Clubs, for having us over. And yes, and come visit them next time you're in Vegas. So our next victim is Eva Rodriguez, and Eva is one of the most incredible directors of housekeeping that I've had in my entire career. She's not only caring, but she also knows what she's doing, which is very exciting when you're out there walking the floor. Eva, tell us a little bit about you, your career, why housekeeping is so dear to your heart, and then maybe share a little bit of tips and tricks of what you do to keep your team engaged and Housekeeping Week.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yes, of course.
Yeah, I started working in this company back in 1999. I actually celebrated my 23rd anniversary.
Wow.
Yeah, and I started as a guest room attendant, cleaning rooms, and from now on, I've been in every single position in the department. Yeah,
that is so fantastic.
And like Michele said, housekeeping that's my life.
Heart.
Yeah, it's my heart. I really like to be with my team members and to really help them and do whatever I can do for them. That's my motivation, my number one motivation.
It's very inspiring to me to hear leaders that started their career at the very first step of the department and then learn how to make their way up and earn that next step. So that's super inspiring, and it's great for our audience to hear that, because we also have a lot of emerging leaders that are still working through that jungle gym. So it's really exciting, and it's also exciting to know that you do housekeeping from the heart. And I have witnessed that. So, going into International Housekeeping Week is so important to recognize our team.
Yes.
So what would you say are some of the things, like, can you share with us in the 23 years that you've been doing this? How are some ways that you can celebrate Housekeeping Week?
Well, I told my team members this morning, this is a special week, Housekeeping Week, dedicated just for us, but not necessarily means that only for this week we're going to be thank you so much for being here.
Right,
this is every day, but we've been doing a lot of good stuff for them. We started early this morning with some delicious breakfast.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, they asked me, can we have some breakfast burritos? I said, of course. We got some burritos for all of them.
Do you have any left?
Of course.
Okay, great.
We during of the week we're gonna have some cakes. We have some small little gift bags for all of them, and on the next weekend we're gonna have a big luau.
Oh my gosh, I was hoping you would say that.
Yeah,
So
that
let
one's
me
going to
give
be-
everyone a little bit of perspective. Tahiti Resort, Club de Soleil 1 and Club de Soleil 2 have a sister property here in town that is Tahiti Village. And Tahiti Village has a whole area outdoors that is beautiful, and it has an authentic luau. So tell us about that, and what an incredible opportunity for team members to actually be part of it.
To actually be part of them. Yeah, we actually had last year we had our first luau for all the team members, and they love it.
Aw.
They love it, and so they're hoping to have another one. And I told them this morning, guess what? September 24. I said, "Oh my God, thank you so much."
Oh, that
So
is
they're-
so awesome.
They're very excited. They
That
are.
is great. And so will there be like hula dancers?
Yeah, the whole
and-
show
Oh wow.
and lunch.
Wow. That's pretty amazing.
Yes, it is.
So we also too, we hear that you have a WTF story that we also do want to be able to share with our listeners.
Yeah, it was a few years ago. I don't recall exactly the date, but
It was that long ago.
Yeah, but one of my guest room attendant was actually stripping a bed. And yes, she started stripping a bed, but she actually started stripping our guest from the bed. So she didn't notice it. She went and knocked like always 3 times, housekeeping and everything. And she said, well, nobody's in here. She started pulling the sheets, blankets, and she grabbed the legs of the gentleman and pulled him out of the bed.
That is the craziest story.
Oh my gosh.
Yes.
That is crazy. I mean, I definitely, found clothing or guest items when stripping the room, but never a guest left in there. That is
Yeah.
crazy.
The guest was left behind.
Yeah.
Let's go strip guests.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for sharing what your
You're
team is
welcome.
doing this week, and especially here at your beautiful property and
Thank
the
you.
employee engagement, which is amazing. You can really feel it in your heart, what you have for the passion for housekeeping.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you so much,
Thank
Eva.
you.
This was great. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. So we're here with Tom Price, who is the area general manager, and he manages the 3 properties. Tom, thank you so much for having us. Tell us a little bit about your career, how you got here, and then let's talk about the importance of International Housekeeping Week.
Sure, certainly. So thank you for having me. This is actually the first time I've ever done a podcast, so I appreciate
Awesome.
it. Thank you
There's
for the
always a
chance.
first time.
That's
Yeah.
right.
We're
This is
lucky
my
to
first
have
time.
you.
Anyway, I've been in the industry roughly 20 years or so. I was trying to think about when I actually started. I can't remember the exact first year that I started, but I know it was with the Hawthorne Suites chain roughly 20 years ago in front offices. I was a front office manager. And then I made my way out west and started with timeshare about 3 years after that. And started off, again, front office, moved my way up to assistant. Actually, we had a sort of an operations manager position, moved into assistant GM, and then I moved my way up to GM of this lovely property once Michelle left. So
So here's a little bit of background on that. When I was managing these 3 properties, Tom was my better half. So he was the person that was out there making things happen with me, and we had a good run. We had a good run. We had a good run.
6 months.
Was
Yes.
this mom and dad when you had to play good cop, bad cop with the
Always.
employees?
Michelle was the bad cop.
Always.
Yeah. No, I've had some good experiences. I've worked for Shell Vacations Club. I've worked for Wyndham. I have a lot of good mentors, Michelle included. So a lot of good experience. It's tucked away in there, and I utilize it.
So beyond the good experiences, can you remember your most memorable mouth-opening moment in your career?
There's been a couple. Without naming which property, I've found dead bodies in rooms with housekeeping.
Okay,
Yikes.
that's rough.
We've had the FBI or the DEA break down doors and go after people with gunpoint.
That's always fun.
Yeah, and we didn't even know that it was happening until we heard the boom of the doors.
Wow.
That's great.
Yes, so that was fun.
Wow.
That was fun for sure.
And then, so we're getting into housekeeping week. So tell us why housekeeping week is important to you to making sure that we're celebrating in the housekeeping department.
Because housekeeping is the heart and soul of this industry, point blank. If we don't take care of our housekeepers and we acknowledge them, we're really doing them a disservice. I appreciate what they do on a daily basis, and it is incredibly important to let them know that.
Absolutely. And then we've already been going over a few of the activities that are happening here at all three of the properties, but what are you looking forward to the most in celebrating with the team?
Honestly, each one has been special. I'm sure Ava probably filled you in on the luau we're getting ready to have for the team, and we've had some previous ones. Michelle was part of a really good one we had here on the west side, and I've had several in my career. So each one is special. I really couldn't pin out one that is the most special, but just knowing that the team feels appreciated. And we had a luau. It was last year we did the luau, and they were so excited. Just seeing their faces was great.
That's
So
great.
yeah, it was awesome.
Super. I love this. So Tom, what is in store for you for these properties, and what should anyone expect that visits your 3 properties within the next year or so?
Well, hopefully the big ticket item is getting the renovation done at Club de Soleil. We've been waiting a while. COVID put that on the back burner for a good 2 years now. So we're really hoping to get that going. Other than that, it's really just getting back to where we were before pre-COVID. We had a few shutdown months, one of these resorts, and, we had to really buckle in, and it was, everything's changed since COVID. So we're at the point now where we feel like we're restarting. We're really just trying to get back to where we were from a timeshare perspective and an ownership perspective pre-COVID. So hopefully we're in budget season now that we'll be putting some things on the table for 2023 that are going to be exciting for the owners and guests.
Amazing.
Very
So
nice.
we've had a few episodes talking about timeshare, talking about openings and renovations. And, with the timeshare, there's so many more other factors that go into planning a renovation than it would to a typical hotel room as well, to making sure of different products that are, in the kitchen, to also to layout of the lobby area. But it can be definitely more challenging in the timeshare than just the normal hotel.
For sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Well, Tom, we know that you're in the middle of budget season. Your time is short. We are so appreciative of the fact that you allowed us to come into your house, and your rooms are just so beautiful. And we're so excited to chat and catch up with your leadership team and with you. And thank you for being such a genuine leader. We know that any guest or owner that walks through your doors is going to get just that.
Absolutely.
Genuine leadership and genuine service, which is what we strive for. So
Absolutely.
thank you so much.
Glad to be here. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.